Somebody call a doctor because Bad Medicine is back. That's the answer. This is the Appleton Oak. I'm Mason Quinn. Folks, today we are getting back into season 1 of Death Note. This is episode 5 called Tactics. And I just wonder what kind of tactics are L and Light going to use in here, because this story is wild. And again, a huge thank you to all you folks who recommended it.
I am definitely ready, willing, and able to see what L is going to do to Light, because there's going to be chaos.
Yeah, this show started off hot. They have kept the pace up 100%. You went from thinking, Light's, he's
just taking out the bad guys.
He's just taking out the bad guys, and now he's got this god complex. So it's going to be really interesting to see where this goes.
All right, without further ado, then let's go. Hey, Steve, can I get a water?
Coming right up. Got a fresh pack right down here. Oh, my back. Oh.
Uh-oh. Looks like Steve's back just called it quits.
Some help would be good right about now.
Yeah, you're going to need some help with that, Steve. Your injury could be worth millions. You should consider calling Morgan & Morgan. Morgan & Morgan is America's largest injury law firm, with more than 1,000 lawyers and 4,000 case staff ready to fight for you if you become their client. But Steve's worried. He doesn't have the cash to pay for expensive legal fees. Worry no more. Morgan & Morgan will fight for every penny you deserve. And guess what? The fee is absolutely free, unless you win. But Steve doesn't want to sue his boss, even though he hasn't gotten his surgery bills covered in the last 6 months. Steve, when you sue for an injury, you're not suing your boss. You're suing the insurance company. So if you've been a victim in a workplace injury or any other personal injury, you can hit the link in the description to get Morgan & Morgan to fight for you. Steve did, and now he's back in the game.
Oh, look at that.
I mean, says it all.
This guy have an ego?
No.
Well, again, he's only 17. You know.
Imagine if you were handed that at 17.
17.
Yeah.
All right, tactics.
Oh, there's our guy from the bus. Yeah. Worked just like I thought it would.
Yeah, throw a little piece of the notebook down. He thinks he's delusional.
I came to Japan as part of a secret investigation, so the local police can't find out that...
I understand. I promise I won't tell anyone that I met you. That includes my father.
Please excuse me.
Everybody else there sees him running off.
I'm sure they'll treat this as just another unfortunate accident.
This kid's getting just cockier and cockier, isn't he?
Hey, welcome back.
What a day.
Ray, what's the matter?
The bus I was on got hijacked, if you can believe it.
So you were already riding the bus when the hijacker got on? Did he die?
Yeah, probably.
It's a little hard to believe that was all a coincidence, don't you think?
You and I know you used to be one of the best agents in the FBI, but now you're my fiancé.
Stay out of my work.
So just leave it alone.
Jesus, guy.
It's just force of habit.
I should be sorry. Let's forget about it. Once we have a few kids running around, you'll probably be so busy you'll forget you were ever an agent.
Let me guess. You're about to write down the name of that agent, aren't you? I'm gonna wait 1 week.
Jesus.
It'll be less obvious that way. I think I'll use some of those inmates I've been keeping alive to play around with.
I've been keeping
Play
alive?
around.
Another victim. This one left what appears to be a suicide note.
I think L is in some kind of cell or something.
L, do you know? Gods of death. Is he trying to tell us that gods of death exist? Kira may use other suicide notes to communicate with us.
Understood.
I should be writing these dates down.
This place is crawling with humans. How are you gonna do it here? If I write a cause of death and the circumstances leading up to it, I can add a name afterwards and it'll still happen. Even I didn't know that one. Right on time. Mr. Ray Penber, I am Kira.
Oh,
Do you see the man working over there at the coffee shop? I'm gonna kill him just for you. I'm afraid I had no choice but to kill him. He was a menace to society. I could easily kill all these people right now if I wanted to.
I believe you.
I'm sure you care more about your loved ones than any of these people here.
whoa.
Whoa.
How do you know about her?
I've been investigating you.
I understand.
The more he talks, the more he's going to know his voice.
I want the files containing the identities of all the FBI agents who came to Japan.
Jesus.
I don't have the files you're looking for.
Then take this envelope and await my instructions.
A transceiver. You really thought this through.
Now get on the Yamanote line.
This kid has gone off the rails, dude.
Pick a spot in front of you and don't take your eyes off it. I want you to take the seat closest to the doors. If I have even the slightest suspicion that you're not being honest, your girlfriend is as good as dead. How many FBI agents are currently in Japan?
3 agents per team for a total of 12.
I want you to write down the name of your superior.
It's not like he can kill them using just their names.
You can look them up.
Yeah, once he has a picture.
Write that agent's name in the space provided.
If he's got the names already, why use me?
Looks like you're done. Ride the train for at least another 30 minutes.
I know that voice.
So I was going to say, the more he talks to him, eventually he's going to remember the voice and being on the bus.
Who are you?
No way. Oh, come on.
Like Yagami.
Oh.
Farewell, Ray Penber.
Oh.
Without even realizing it, he was actually signing a death warrant for all of his colleagues.
Oh, he made him do it.
He died of a heart attack after sending all of his agents a file.
Oh, jeez.
Oh, because he wrote it down.
Yeah.
He was looking at their pictures. That's why
Yeah,
they
that's why it worked for him to do it.
Because he's writing it in the death note.
Yeah, Ray saw the names in the
Mother,
laptop.
because I was like, like you were saying, how is he going to do it if he just knows the names? Well, if he's freaking doing it
Yeah, made Ray do it.
in the death note itself.
L, you have a call from the director of the FBI.
We're out of
agents
FBI
are
guys.
dead.
All of our agents in Japan are dead.
We're calling off our investigation.
Seems that you arranged for the FBI to come to Japan.
I felt that it was necessary to uncover Kira's identity.
Well, I knew all along we couldn't trust that guy. Kira killed those FBI agents.
He's a murderer.
Yep.
Do you know gods of death love apples?
He was murdered by Kira.
I'm sure you've heard of this Kira investigation. Well, I'm currently in charge of it.
Are you serious? That's totally awesome, Dad.
No, that's not
No,
awesome.
no, not really. Not really.
There's a chance that Kira will actually try to kill anyone who comes after him.
I don't want you to die. What if he gets you?
I could never forgive myself if I walked away from this.
Please, dear.
Awfully quiet, son.
Proud to be able to call you my father. Anything should ever happen to you, I'm going to find Kira.
Did they have to do that with his hair?
Just shows him he's disheveled and working hard.
Very honorable dad. I am not worried one bit.
If anyone wants to leave this investigation, now is the time.
See ya.
All right, guys.
Well, this was fun.
Catch you later.
Do I still get my pension? Get out!
I remember him because he told us to get down. I don't really remember any of the other passengers.
Thanks for talking with me anyway. I
Naomi's
appreciate
gonna put it together.
She's
Yeah, because Naomi's not going to rest.
Kira could have been one of the passengers on the bus that day.
That's all that's left.
Talk about a skeleton crew.
Well, 6, including myself.
I trust all of you.
Huh? What reason do we have to trust him? I don't see how you can expect us to work alongside you under those conditions.
This guy looks like Fred Savage.
Wow.
Could you come here so we can all meet in person?
The thought had already crossed my mind.
Is that him? Oh, never mind.
Why is he seeking our help now? There's only 6 of us.
Because there's only 6 of us.
Odds are he's going to send a stand-in or a proxy of some kind to meet us and...
That's a good point.
Well, it is possible.
I don't really see how we can solve this case without his help.
He's been waiting for this to happen all along.
Oh, jeez.
Just before he turns the knob.
Of course.
Just before he turns the knob.
Of course.
Wow. This show, man, it's so dang good. It's funny because at first we're like, Al, he's or not Al, Light. He's doing some good stuff. But I think we said in the last few episodes, completely off the rocker, and definitely not a protagonist, so to speak. I don't think anymore because look, he's the bad guy. We're just seeing a lot of it kind of from his point of view, or at least that's what I think anyway. At this point, that's where I'm at. I don't know how many of you at this point by episode 5, what your thoughts were on the whole thing, but that's pretty much what I'm going with. And it really threw me off that they were able to meet Al at the hotel because they kept showing him in that room with, no furniture, just the floor. The background looked like, squares or pads even like riveted or bolted to the wall. So I was like, okay, is L like some kind of genius, but he did something and had to be locked up and they let him work on cases or whatever. That's kind of where I thought things might go, but that looks like it's not the case. He's at the hotel and he's going to meet the 5 remaining agents who are going to work the case in person. So this is going to be pretty wild. But yeah, Light is he's really gone off the rails now. He took out our guy Penber just for getting in the way and then used him to take out the other agents, which was, I guess you could say it's brilliant, a way of doing it. Not that we're obviously not pulling for it, but an amazing way to do it. And this is going to be such a fun cat and mouse game between these two. I mean, it has been already, but I'm just waiting for it to kick up because those shows are always so much fun when you see the two individuals trying to match wits with each other. And it's even better because they do have some level of communication between them. So it's like they can really needle each other a little bit as they're trying to kind of have their one-upsmanship a little bit. So this is going to be wild. I don't know what the count is for Light with how many people he's at now, but
he was writing nonstop in those first few episodes.
Yeah, just wild. So I can see why a lot of folks love this show and why it came so highly recommended because each episode's only like 20-ish minutes, but man, they give you a lot of info and it goes fast, but it doesn't feel like it was only 22 minutes worth because you feel like you got so much information.
Yeah. This one especially was pretty damn good. I mean, taking out Ray like that, and he just, because he's always doing the inner monologue, just laying it all out for you. And then how he just gave him the transmitter, let him, kept him in eyesight, had him write down all the names. And I was like, and we were wondering, okay, he's doing it on the notepad. That's fine. What is that about? And even he was wondering, what is this? There's these certain squares. Here he was writing it in the death note the entire time. Totally caught us by surprise because we're like, well, how is this going to work? I mean, yes, he could probably somehow still research the FBI agents somehow and find their faces and then boom. But instead, it's him looking right at him in his laptop and then took them all out. And then, like he said, he can write down the death and when it all happens.
Fill in the blanks.
And then he can just fill in the name whenever he wants and just does it. And then and I know that the guy was probably a scumbag that he took out in the subway.
In front of him, yeah.
But he wasn't convicted. And when he was like, for lack of evidence. Or, I mean, hypothetically, it could be the wrong guy. So now... He's also taken out guys that aren't convicted, but maybe have charges against them. So then it's like if you, I'm done. I littered. I just littered. I didn't get arrested for it, but someone knows about it. Boom, I'm done. That's what it could end up boiling down to. He wants this utopia, but I just the way he's going about it is it's all wrong. He wants to be a god. Well, that's what he keeps freaking getting.
Well, and if you go down like a really dark path, and I don't know if you guys have maybe thought this far ahead, but we've seen some other shows and movies where they're like, war is essentially, I'll paraphrase, war is never going to end until there's only one person left because people will always find a reason to fight. So is Light going to get to the point where he's the only person left on Earth And that's like the end game. I mean, I could see it going down that way.
Like right now, he's judge, jury, and execution.
Just relax a little guy.
Hey.
Just relax. No, look, the first couple episodes is like, okay, this is interesting. What if somebody could take out all the very hardened criminals and, and maybe do some work that the justice system can't? And that's a real slippery slope, right? And I think I discussed it, in previous episodes where we talk about, hey, look, like I can't speak for other countries, but in the United States, it's state by state, but the death penalty is very controversial, and in every year, I shouldn't even say every year, every month, every week, we're hearing of criminals who've gotten cleared of crimes that are 10, 20, 30, 40 years old with new DNA evidence and everything like that, which of course is the foundation of why that argument is as intense as it is here in the States and on a state-by-state basis. And that's one of the things where in this show, it's like, well, even if it's reported in the news, like, hey, look, and they get you with like, hey, look, this guy's guilty of multiple SA, which, you're not going to get any sympathy from me on that. But there's other people where, look, maybe you got the wrong information. There's a reason that we have due process. There's a reason why it's innocent until proven guilty. And here you have somebody who was going through, convicted people who was, even that, again, is a slippery slope as far as an argument. And now you're going and just taking out everybody who, might be guilty of a crime, and taking it one step further and taking out anybody who's in your way. I mean, like this guy
fighting crime.
Like you have 12 FBI agents who, might have wives and kids at home, and even if they don't, are there doing their job, trying to catch criminals, which you are a criminal, even if you feel like you're doing the world a service. And this went from like a very intriguing plot for me to just like the total God complex, which we know because he basically called himself that, and he very quickly went to somebody that you don't like, and he's a villain. The one like line that caught me, and the one note that I made from this is his line, "Oh, all these people that I've been keeping alive." Like that's how he looks at things now. I'm just looking. You know what? If you're pulling air into your lungs, it's because I'm keeping you alive at this point. I'm in control.
Oxygen.
And I forget which one of you had mentioned, he's still a teenager.
Yeah.
Right. So 17, it's like, think about all the terrible decisions you made at 17, just raging hormones, your brain is still developing, your world experience and the things that and your overall wisdom aren't anywhere near what they're going to be. The things that you experience in life, as far as what you learn, what you can take away from those grow exponentially in your late teens and 20s and into your 30s. And I'm in my mid 40s, and there's still some stuff I even look back on that I did in my 30s where I'm like, oh man, like, oh, And so to have somebody who's a teenager with this level of power, it's really scary. It is. And again, this whole show went from like, okay, I'm super captivated with the concept. Mm-hmm. Oh, we're taking out the bad guys, to like this like immense sense of like ick. I know that's like a trendy whatever term, but the show is just giving me the ick having somebody with this much power. And again, 12 FBI agents. So the one guy was like, and the guy was cooperating with him, right? Like the guy, hey, you do this or I'll take you out. Goes right into threatening his family. Like that's a shit move. Yeah. Like I thought you were taking out criminals. So now what you're going to do is you're going to threaten the people who are investigating you, but not only them, their family members who are completely innocent, have no say whatsoever in any of this. It's like, dude, I'm sorry, Light's a piece of shit.
And then threatened Naomi, which I don't think he knows her face or anything yet, and now we found out she's a former FBI agent. So Light, she won't take this lightly. She's gonna avenge.
Well, and that's the thing that I was kind of wondering about, because obviously he was going to take out Pember all along, so that's why he really didn't care how much he talked to him and if he was going to put his voice together, because Pember was just on a bus where something incredibly wild just happened, and he was talking to a young man for a while. Like, he was going to put it together in a matter of hours, I think, who the voice was, but Light didn't care.
He did right
because,
before he tipped over. He finally put it together.
And then he showed him.
Well, then Light showed him.
Light showed him who he was, but I don't think it's going to take a whole lot for Naomi to put it together. Like, you can find out.
She's got pictures. She's going to find out who's on the bus. Find out who lives close enough.
It's going to be wild.
Yeah, definitely a wild turn, and we're only a handful of episodes in, and all of a sudden it's gone from, oh, this is interesting, to, oh, this guy sucks.
And now Elle is showing his face too. And that is wild.
Is he?
Is he though? He did. He played that game once before.
We shall find out. Well, he did that, but it was to serve a purpose, so to speak. Yep. But we shall find out in the next episode. And we cannot wait, just like you guys can. So for Appleton Oak, that's Mason Quinn. I'm, of course, the answer. We'll catch you on the next one, pals. I wish we needed more Ryuk last
we didn't get a whole lot of Ryuk.
We just got, like 20 seconds of him?
Yeah, a little bit.
I can't wait to see him tell his dad how honorable he is again.
No, Dad, keep doing it. Stay on the case.
Well, how about wait until watch him take out every officer on the case, but conveniently not his dad.
Yeah.
Well, everybody's gone except for...
Oh, rough day of taking people out? Oh, no, this is hell.
I am Mel.
I'm Yagami of the NPA.
Bang! If I were Kira, you'd be dead, Mr. Soichiro Yagami, chief of the NPA. Please do not give out your name so carelessly.
But I don't remember any evidence that showed that he needed a name, too.
We briefly went over it.
Oh, interesting.
Please turn off all your cell phones, handhelds, and any other communication devices.
What do you think, we're going to be using our cell phones during this meeting to leak information?
It's all right.
Well, I mean...
Just wants you to stay off Instagram.
Some people are on their cell phone during, pre-recordings.
Let me start by saying nobody takes notes on anything that's said in these meetings.
Very eccentric. But he's a genius, so you get why. Is he perched like a...
Just perched up, pasty white.
Never learned how to properly sit in chairs.
He's never seen the sun. Needs to liven up a little bit.
You stop calling me L. It's Ryuzaki now, just to be safe.
Ryuzaki?
Couldn't we cut down on the number of victims by keeping criminals' names from the news?
We'll only be putting the general public at risk. Kira is childish, and he hates losing. I'm also childish, and I hate to lose.
God.
Mine being a little more specific.
He didn't hesitate to kill my stand-in.
Needs more sugar.
And he's never missed an opportunity to return the favor. I'm not the evil one here, but all those who oppose me by hiding criminals, you are truly evil.
Make fists with your toes.
Nations agree to send 1,500 investigators to Japan.
1,500?
He'll start to feel cornered, and that will cause him to take some kind of drastic action.
It just might work.
Well, before we celebrate, I'll tell you the rest of my thoughts on the Kira case.
Oh, God, yeah.
He had access to all our classified information, and to some extent he can control a victim's time of death. On December 14th, 12 FBI investigators entered Japan.
It's going to be like a crazy drawing.
Kira became aware of the FBI's presence and obviously felt threatened. He needed to know how much control he had over his victims.
I got a hold of a file which contained all the names and faces, and I succeeded in killing each one of them. I have to make sure that no one ever finds out that I came into contact with Ray Penber.
That's where Naomi's gonna get you.
I've been most active during this period.
23 individuals died.
Oh, 23.
They were all alleged criminals, ex-convicts, or suspects in ongoing investigations. Kira had to manipulate these lesser criminals in order to kill those FBI agents. In truth, he probably only needed a few. Kira had to be one of the people being investigated by the FBI between the 14th and the 19th.
Oh, boy.
These are files provided by the FBI. You're not permitted to take these out of this room, but...
Yeah, exactly.
But with this much information, we should be able to cover a lot of ground.
We'll split into 2 teams.
Jeez, they're pretty eager.
Yeah.
So, does anyone have any questions?
Where are your pupils?
Does the fact that you've shown us your face mean that you've lost?
I have lost the battle, but I'm not going to lose the war.
Ah, it's the answer.
and that justice will prevail no matter what.
Look at this guy.
I like the sound of that.
Yeah.
We can do this. All right, then.
Oh, shut up, Fred. You're out of here.
This man is L.
Before we go any further, I have to be absolutely sure that none of you are Kira.
He still doesn't trust us?
No, I think it's a fair request.
Just one clue, a single decisive factor is all I need.
A single piece of evidence is all it would take.
Yep.
Just one thing.
Oh, nice. Is this Naomi? The silence was deafening.
Elle don't know that Kira can kill people by means other than a heart attack.
Does it have to be now?
Your father's been pulling overnighters with no change of clothes.
Totally promised my friends that I'd go out with him.
I totally promised.
I could use a break.
Thanks, Light.
Chomp.
Planning to kill someone? No, but lately I've been bringing a page with me every time I go out.
Oh, my goodness.
You never knew who you might run into.
Yeah, never know. Might need to 86 someone.
Ray said that he was planning to go to Shinjuku. That same day, 4 people died of heart attacks in the Shinjuku area. There's no way it was a coincidence.
Does the bus have cameras on it? All she'd have to see is who he was sitting by.
Kira can kill in other ways. It doesn't have to be a heart attack.
The mobile customer you are trying to reach
It's unusual for
is
Dad.
unavailable for voicemail.
I wonder if he's in a meeting right now.
No, he is. Well, he was. God damn it.
Someone from the Special Investigation Task Force.
I'm sorry, ma'am, but I can't help you. There is no one at Task Force headquarters right now.
What's going on?
I have information relating to the Kira investigation.
Look, I'll call headquarters one more time for you.
This guy's got the same hair out of place as the old man.
I brought my father a change of clothes, but it doesn't look like he's in. Can I leave them here?
Hey, I haven't seen you in a while, Light.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm terrible with faces.
This guy.
Terrible with faces.
Maybe I'll find Kira before Elle does.
Find him before Elle does.
There's no one at headquarters.
Why would he say L?
Well, that was broadcast over the TV.
True.
My father is actually in charge of the Kira investigation. I could pass your message on to him.
My name is Light. What's your name?
A number of FBI agents were just killed, so he's pretty busy right now. You can almost see it in her eyes. She's a wise and careful person.
You're laying it on pretty thick.
The police had a leak of some kind. You thought this through.
He's gotta do that game with everybody.
I have no problem letting you use my phone to talk to him.
Why is he so happy?
I don't even know your name. My name is Light Yagami.
My name's Shoko Maki.
Oh.
I've been thinking about Kira's powers, and I believe they enable him to somehow control his victims before they die.
That's exactly what I've been thinking. Kira can kill in a number of ways.
There we go. Well, she didn't give you her real name.
But if the police are willing to consider it, I bet it would help them catch Kira.
Oh, there goes this one.
Anytime Kira wants one of his murders to go undetected, he wouldn't use a heart attack.
I'm almost positive that someone I know may have met Kira.
Wouldn't it be better if your friend spoke to them instead?
But he's no longer alive. He was also my fiancé.
There we go.
Ray Penber.
Mm-hmm.
What makes you think he met Kira on that bus?
The same man had attempted to rob a bank 2 days before he hijacked that bus. Then he dies in an accident. Really, what are the odds?
What are the odds?
Yes.
What stands out to me is that the hijacker died in an accident. It suggests that heart attacks aren't the only way Kira can kill people.
You're saying Kira has other ways of killing people?
Yes.
Bit of a leap of faith.
Trying to throw you off the path.
What did he say?
That he'd been put in a situation where he had to show his FBI ID to someone.
Interesting.
Whoever saw his ID that day is responsible for the deaths of all the agents.
Unbelievable. The person your fiancé showed his ID to on the bus that day, it had to be Kira.
That's right.
Shit. Yeah, but she didn't give him her real name.
There's a god on my side after all, and not just a god of death.
You creepy bastard.
Yeah, of course it's to be continued. Oh, this episode was great. I loved the back and forth. I think what I like the most is that Light thinks he's got it figured out, and he's already, I'm sure, planning how he's going to take out Naomi. The only problem is Naomi didn't give Light his real name when they met. She introduced herself as Shoko Maki. So that's going to totally narrow it down because well, no, it wouldn't work because he doesn't know who the actual face of Shokomaki is. I was thinking that if Light, writes down the wrong name and tries to take her out, it would be the wrong person, but it wouldn't work.
Remember,
because the face and the name have to match. So, but either way, it's not going to work.
What are the rules?
Because Light's going to be walking around and bump into her. Oh, it's you and you're alive. That's amazing. So, this is going to be so good. That whole just sequence of them walking was just awesome. The way that was written, the way it all played out, how Naomi put everything together, how Light figured things out. He's like, oh shit, she's on to me. And it's, because we had talked about that in the previous episode where I didn't think it would necessarily be that hard for them to see who it was. Like, look, all you'd have to do is run the camera footage of the bus and see who was talking to Pember and be like, well, that's our guy right there. It's Light. It's the detective's son. And, and that would pretty much wrap it up. So I think in this world, we're just going to assume that the buses don't have cameras because I think that would have been investigated. So let's kind of put that aside, leave that alone. Either way, this story is getting fantastic, and the way they showed Elle perched up on the chair, and
oh my god,
his eyes, like he didn't really have the pupils and the dark under the eyes. Just what a character! I guess that's all I can really say. What a character, and I love how he brought all the agents in. He's going to question them one-on-one to make sure. I did like how right away he was like, "Hey, don't tell me your name."
Yeah,
because what if I was What if I was Light? Then you'd all be done for.
Well, not Light, but if I was Kira.
If I was Kira, they don't know it's Light yet, but they will soon enough, I'm sure. But no, just another great episode. Again, I love the cat and mouse back and forth, and I want to see Light get his comeuppance.
Yeah, this was a great introduction to L2 to the five that are remaining. So this was kind of fun seeing him because how eccentric he is. Like he looks like he barely sleeps. I mean, he looks like this is a new time in a hotel that he's loving it. Didn't quite know how to sit on the chair. He was throwing in he threw in 4 sugar cubes, but he threw in even more after that. Basically, he was drinking sugar with a hint of coffee in there by the end of it. But then you saw him spell everything out for him. 1, tell him leave the cell phones there. 2, don't show me your names. 3, here's the papers and everything I have, but guess what? They're staying right here because he already knows some things. One of which is that they have access to the police computers. Well, if they have that access, they can get anything that I'm trying to do. Boom, we're gonna eliminate that. That's out of the realm of possibilities. So now it's just them working together. And I liked how they were kind of chipper. Hey, this ought to help us in no time. You just tackle the agents they got to. I'll take care of the heart attacks. They seem so eager to work, but to be fair, the whole time they've worked with Elle, he's been behind a screen. With he hasn't been in Watari. He hasn't been in any episodes. Well, he was in the last episode, but we haven't. That's the only person they've been talking to with Elle. So now to actually talk to them, maybe they are excited. And then we get to the whole scene at the police station, and then walking down the street with Naomi
Shoko.
and Light walking down the street, and I thought that was really well written. As you said, it was perfect the way they laid it out for each other, and she showed her skills as being a former agent, and he was gonna say, no, you stay at home. She seemed like she's a better agent than he was. Rest in peace.
This guy's out here just showing his identification to anybody that wants to see it.
I'm here to study Kira. I'm here to study Kira. Anybody else here to study Kira? No. But so far this has been so awesome. So now that we have this, and now Shoko and Maki, what is going to happen there? Because obviously, maybe Naomi, she changed it when she moved to the States, I'm assuming, to meet, Pember when they met earlier on. Or years ago before the show.
I just think
place.
She threw off a fake name.
But also she could do that. But well, she knows they might have access, and she maybe is also lying, and she knew exactly who he was tailing that.
Well, because she knows that he can Kira can take people out just by knowing a name and a face, so she's not going to go and introduce herself to strangers.
That is also very true.
Wouldn't introduce myself to anybody, period.
We still don't know his name.
Yeah, this episode was pretty wild. The fact that we got the big reveal with Elle.
A big reveal.
A little bit different, eccentric kind of character, I guess you could say. But look, we've seen this before in other stories, whether it be where the person is an investigator, whether a doctor. You get somebody who's really quirky, a little bit eccentric, house, something like that, where they do stuff different, but they're brilliant at what they do.
They don't play by the rules.
They don't play by the rules.
See this rule book?
It's almost like you guys. And I know this is a bit of a stretch, but Matthew McConaughey in the first season of True Detective, which I don't know.
I didn't see.
Which is he's just he's quirky in a sense. Not quite like this, but so in any regard, I think it brings a very interesting kind of dynamic to the investigation because he doesn't think or act or carry himself like a normal officer or an investigator or detective, what have you. He's thinking different. He's doing the classic I'm trying to think like the criminal, but this is such a fun cat and mouse game. That's the thing. And the fact that Light is as connected as he is with his father being in the police department and having the ability to obviously coerce people to do things like the last episode. He's keeping one step ahead for now. But you can see he's not expecting everybody to be figuring things out as fast as him, which is it's really your classic, like, I'm a teenage kid who thinks I'm gonna outsmart everybody.
I'm so brilliant.
I'm gonna outsmart everybody. And look, we see this with criminals in today's day and age. You get people who are, there's serial killers who have been caught because they're so narcissistic. They have to send in the letters. They have to toy with the police because it's part of their narcissistic personalities. And if there was ever a narcissistic criminal, it's Light, right?
Well, they made a really good point that Light has to be, and he even said this, he's got to be perfect every single time he does something. He can't slip up.
No, and
Elle just has to wait for him to mess up once.
That's where I liked how they did the side by side of them saying it could have happened this day. All it takes is one.
The thing that I really love was Elle's idea to say that we have 1,500 agents from the U.S. because then all of a sudden it's like, imagine the pressure and imagine how much time and resources he is going to spend trying to figure out who they are, what their names are, try to pull more information. And then if he finds out that let's say he does find out he's being played. Well, now he knows that they're playing him like that. So how do you know what's real and what's fake? What's actually happening? What is misdirection by Elle? So if anything, again, and we've said it before, they've set up just an incredible game of cat and mouse, and a 17-year-old kid trying to outsmart FBI detectives and
Naomi now.
And Naomi, who was a detective herself, and of course Elle, who has a very unique set of skills. But I'm absolutely loving this show, and I can't wait to see what happens moving forward. And I'm pumped.
So. We will see how this goes now with Naomi. That's probably her name, but I love that.
Can't wait
that
it doesn't work for him. It's going to be so
my
great.
God.
He's going to on his face.
He's going to see her in like the lobby of the police station again. Like, it's you. How you doing? So this has been so great. We cannot wait for more, just like y'all. So for Appleton Oak, that's Mason Quinn, and I'm of course the answer. We'll catch you on the next one, pals.